so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad streets and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Hello and welcome to round 2 of the SLC semifinals live on the Lacrosse Network. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by Samir Chaudhry, and we are about to see two teams that played a pretty close game earlier in the season in Occidental and Cal State Fullerton. I'm expecting this game to be considerably more competitive than the first matchup of the day. And why don't we take a look at the matchups to look for?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at the SLC pregame matchup right now. Occidental has first time making the playoffs in some time, but coached by head coach Steve Luna, who actually has just recently won the SLC Division II Coach of the Year award, and you can see why. Overall record of 8-3, 5-1 in the conference, but a tough time against Fullerton. Only one win in the past 6 times that these two teams have met. Occidental doing a great job on their offensive side of the ball this year with 186 goals for and only 98 goals against. Fullerton coming in with a 14-4 record. They've played some tight games with some big opponents. They had a 3-6 game against St. Thomas and a 4-1 conference record the last time these two teams met. Cal State Fullerton took the victory 13-9. And with that, let's take a look at our players to watch here. On the Oxy side of the ball, we have Jake Kahane, who last time these two met had 3 goals and an assist. Kahane is averaging 5.18 points per game, the sophomore out of El Segundo High School. And we're going to have to see, I think on the other side of the ball, we're going to have to profile Jeff Lyons, who's last time these two met had 3 goals and an assist. So we'll see how those players pan out the rest of the game. But to start off, we're going to see Doug Calder on the faceoff for Occidental, and his brother Brad Calder, one of the freshman attackmen on this Occidental squad, number 87.
And I think what Occidental has to do in this matchup, as right into the offensive side, looking inside, pretty ambitious pass inside, and that one just kicked into the goal. Oh, sorry, that one hit the outside, but almost an unfortunate turn of events there for Occidental to start this game. Now Walsh moving it to Tolley. And Occidental getting the ball up the field as Calder brings it in and moves the ball down the field. But I think one of the things that Occidental is going to have to do here is do a better job defensively, especially in the first half. I know that they were losing at halftime 8-1 in the last matchup, and were able to fight their way back into that 13-9 loss. So if they can keep it close early, they're going to give themselves a chance to win this game.
And there's a shot from Doug Calder, one of the midfielders on this team, a junior, but really leading this team both on and off the field. He's one of the board members on this team, and he does a great job helping his team. And back at X, you'll see John Soloway and Jake Kahane. Jake Kahane, our player to watch here. Local product out of El Segundo. And it looks like we got some some time question here from the officials, looking like they want that time to be changed back to 14:10.
Yeah, and pretty good turnout here from the fans. You see them from both sides, a lot of Fullerton and Oxy fans as well. And we actually had the opportunity to take a couple runs with the Oxy squad last week as part of a scrimmage with some local men's players against their team, and they definitely have some offensive some players that can really put it in the net.
Yeah, and as we wait to see if we can get 14:10 on the clock here, and it looks like we got 45 minutes on the clock here, so some technical difficulties here with the clock is stop and play. But Occidental, their first line midfield right now out with Doug Calder, got Danny Stern and Vinny Vigorita out there, and all three of these midfielders have done a great job producing all year round. But I think you also have to watch out for this Oxy attack line. Brad Calder, the freshman, coming out this season, really impressive. His brother is a midfield leader on this team, but Brad having 43 goals on the season as a freshman, definitely impressive to come out in this conference and do that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's big time stuff. 43 goals as a freshman. Looks like we're going to be able to get the game rolling again here. 0-0, 50 seconds gone. As Soloway looks inside, finds his man, takes the shot, and a pretty good look coming across from Brad Calder, who again you mentioned had 56 points on the season, 43 goals. A pretty solid handle. I know they take some of the page out of the book of what happened earlier, and there's a great check coming across, knocks the ball out, able to regain possession though is Occidental, and that's Kahane working from there, moves it up to Calder.
And look for Kahane to be dodging quite a bit from X. He's really he initiates a lot from X, and he's a great feeder from back there. So he's going to be looking for guys like Brad Calder and some of these midfielders.
Calder looking inside again, and Fullerton doing a good job of collapsing on the ball. Ball still up, and a lot of big bodies on this Fullerton defensive line, and definitely look for Paul Morgan to be a difference maker for the Fullerton squad. I mean, he's one of those guys, a super athletic guy, a real energy guy for the team. And if he gets it going, he can score goals and make plays at both ends of the field. And I think that'll be a big deal for Fullerton.
And on the Fullerton side of the ball, you got to see Gabe Alamillo with 39 goals, averaging 3.4 points per game. And right now, Fullerton attack has not had an opportunity to touch the ball, but.
And then Soloway turns his defenseman around, but great help on the slide there. And here's Paul Morgan using that speed that we just talked about to make a play on the defensive end, moving the ball up on the clear. Looking inside, there's the shot, and a big-time rip and a goal, and that's a huge shot coming from Martinez, the junior, his 17th on the season, and he is just shredding.
And that's tough for Occidental right there. You know, nice long possession, a couple of good looks, but right when Paul Morgan takes that ball over the midline, one pass and Martinez just shreds a corner. I mean,
that's a big time shot.
That's a big time goal.
I mean, that's 10 yards out, and he just blasted that right by the goalie.
So Fullerton goes up one with that goal from Martinez, and we have Taryn Mawini out here taking the face-off. He's actually a football player from Occidental who came out and played lacrosse this year. He was a very good player in high school over in Colorado. So the Oxy team is definitely happy to have him. He's a very athletic kid, and look for him to also be initiating a lot of dodges from up top.
And then coming around the corner, looking like trying to get some hands free and just off the edge, but a really solid take from Kahane. And no problem backed up by Occidental. Actually didn't go out of bounds, but definitely doing a pretty good job of trying to create his own shots there. And it looked like it might have been a tip, but it's not. That ball coming through, pretty ambitious pass across the crease. One thing we've already mentioned it, but Fullerton doing a really good job of packing it in tight. And keeping their sticks inside to clog up those passing lanes.
And there's Alamillo with the ball back at X, over to Wheeler. Up top to Lyon, who had 4 points in the last time these two teams met.
And Fullerton looking pretty comfortable in their offense right now. I mean, they scored their first goal on a little bit of an unsettled situation, but definitely taking some time to get settled as Lyon starts working from up top. Zalmio, the captain, again another one of the players to watch, having a pretty good season. 39 goals on the season. Nice look inside. There's the shot, and big outside of his cage is Kelly. Able to get in front of that one, but loses the ball, and what a ride. That one from Goebel. And Kelly, back to Lyon.
The senior from De La Salle High School, definitely a very disciplined program to come out of. He's a fantastic goalie, and he's definitely the leader of this defense.
Yeah, and Kelly is something you see coming way outside of his cage, and a nice look inside off of the dodge. Can't quite find his man as the ball goes down, and a big-time hit coming through. And it's going to be a push. Looked like a pretty clean hit from up here, but right back into it is Mahaney.
Got to give a shout out to Marcia Calder, who's tuning in, watching the Calder brothers play in this semifinal game.
Kane looks inside, finds Calder, and buries the goal. That's a great handle and an even better finish. Able to keep it close and finish the goal. But that's Brad Calder, the freshman, with the goal, his 44th on the season, to tie the game up with 10:33 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Calders right now, and Brad Calder just having a fantastic freshman campaign. He has a very bright future. He's a fantastic finisher, and I think they're going to be looking to him for the rest of this game to be finishing.
Yes. Yes. Yes, indeed.
They will be.
And definitely take the time to and it right into the fast break. Here comes Fullerton, and nice move coming across. Not quite there for Leoy, but Fullerton opts to pull it back out instead of going right back into the settled situation. Back behind for Leoy. And Almijo moves it. Looking very comfortable for a Fullerton team that is basically a completely new look from the Fullerton team a year ago. Lost a lot of offensive scoring from that team, and have been able to put it together here in the second half of the season and really have some quality wins for the program. And like you mentioned earlier, play some games pretty close up. So Wheeler moves it back to Almijo and up to Valentine, looks like. It's Martinez trying to get his hands free, moving off the pick. Nice look back behind the goal and looking inside for a quick dunk. Takes the shot in the goal for Fullerton. That's a big-time shot.
Yeah, and you know, right there was some pretty good midfield defense there from Oxy, but once the slide came, there was no recovery. And that's the issue, is when that slide comes, you have to be able to recover.
Exactly, and that's something that we saw in our first game as well. Being able to make the slide and not recover and not let those other guys hurt you. And just like that, the lead is back to 1 with 9.5 minutes to go in the first. Another win for Mahaney as he comes down the field and goes into the offense for Occidental.
And Fullerton's going to score. They're going to score in bunches. So the question is, can Occidental keep up with that pace of play? And can they maintain, you know, they're doing a good job of maintaining possession, but with that, can they score on these long possessions? They're going to go into an invert here. They really like this look with Mawini back at X.
And, you know, I think this is definitely a good matchup. He's already shown his athleticism at the face-off X. And he's got a shorty. He draws the quick switch, and he's got a line, kind of hangs his man up and scores the goal. Fakes high, buries it low, and the game is tied. Occidental already ahead of where they were the last time these two teams met, with 2 goals in the first quarter.
Absolutely, and they're gonna look to exploit that matchup time and time again. He's just such an athletic player, coming from a football background. He can dodge, no problem. So if they can get him a shorty and he can go to X and utilize all that space, he's going to the cage all day long.
And I think that's the matchup to look for. I mean, if they pull him, I think they'll probably just go right back into the invert with whoever has the shorty. And if they can draw that quick slide, which I don't think needs to come from X, and there's a nice check to knock that ball out of bounds coming from Walsh.
Walsh, another freshman on this team who's been so impressive this season.
Nice handle, taking some pressure, trying to get the ball inside. Heard the footsteps, got a little scared there, and knocks the ball out. And there's a nice bull dodge coming through, and that's a heads-up play by Austin Garcia, the junior, who then loses the ball after such a good play, and ball still down. And it's going to be a push, so it's going back Occidental's way. Pretty much a scrum right there. Nice stop. Lets the Fullerton player run right by. And Occidental's back on offense, looking to take their first lead since 1-0. And Soloway has it. And up to Stern. And, you know, these two teams definitely smaller than the other two teams we've seen play today. Only, you know, between 5 or 6 guys on the sideline for Occidental. This takes the shot, and no problem on the save right there for Wada.
And a great job of Occidental utilizing their spacing there, allowing Doug Calder, you know, enough space to operate, but just to beat Wada, you're going to have to do something a little bit different than that. Just a high to low right there. Wada could see it the whole way.
And there's Wyatt getting it from Ray with the look inside. Pretty ambitious pass, trying to cut through two white shirts. And nice little cut play. That one from Wheeler, Joe Wheeler. And pretty solid timeout coming from the Cal State Fullerton sideline. You can tell that they were a little unsettled in their situation there, and gives them an opportunity to collect themselves before going back out there.
Yeah, you know, I think Fullerton might have come out here thinking, hey, you know, we beat these guys up pretty bad last time in the first half. It's going to be a similar game. But Occidental came to play. This is the playoffs, and they want to beat Fullerton. So they're out here. They're putting everything they got into it, and it's a 2-2 ball game. I don't think Fullerton expected that, and I think that's why they called the timeout here.
Yeah, and you know, when Coach Luna has guys coming out there to play with them, like the two of us, I mean, they really see what top-level competition is, and gives them some perspective as what they can expect in a playoff game.
It doesn't get very much better than us. I mean, I don't think they're going to see any higher competition than that.
Absolutely not. It's when you're all WCL honorable mention, then it's pretty much the pinnacle of the club world.
Absolutely. Well, we'll take this opportunity to let you guys know that everything you see here in the SLC tournament is through the eyes of TVX Video. Check out tvxvideo.com to find out a little bit more about how you could get some of this great filming as well at any of your sporting events. Doesn't have to just be lacrosse. Check out tvxvideo.com. Ted does a great job filming and cutting recruiting tapes and all the media needs you have for sports. So check out tvxvideo.com.
Yeah, no, I know that when I was going through this recruiting process in high school, I wish I would have had someone like Ted to help me cut together some of my soccer highlights. I know he does a lot of soccer as well. So definitely check out TVX Video and get some stuff. And don't forget also that we will be monitoring all of the comments on the feed as well as the tweets coming in at CMarshallTLN. So feel free to let us know where you're watching from, what you think the outcome of this game is going to be, and what you think is going to happen tomorrow in the Division I and Division II championship games right here at Del Norte High School live on the Lacrosse Network. And I think this is a pretty good matchup for them. You've got Gobel getting inside, and he has a shorty, and that's a nice check, able to disrupt the passing lane a little bit. No problem for Martinez, able to run that one down. But they want to try and exploit the we've seen pretty much all of the teams in the tournament try and go into this kind of 1-4 ISO matchup, and it's been successful for pretty much everyone. As you see, Ballantyne trying to get his hands free. Solid defense by Occidental, help defense. No flag there. I think that's a good call.
They got to play on though. Yeah, it's gonna stay Fullerton ball there. I thought he had possession, but
I think it's either a flag or nothing. Really on that one. It looked like their feet got tangled up and less of a check. Coming inside, nice look after the help defense, drawing the slide. Fullerton really looking comfortable in their offense right now, trying to get inside, take the shot, and that's a big time save coming from Kelly. But Fullerton right back into their offensive set. Matt Martinez moves it to Gobel, and they're going to go around the horn, and I think probably go right back into one of their dodges from up top. Takes the shot, and that one just off the mark, but a really solid effort by Brandon Gobel, a freshman, really doing a good job this season for the Titans with 15 points.
Wheeler, he's got a big body back at X, but it looks like Oxy's doing a great job putting pressure on his hands.
Yeah, and another one of the contributors from last season that we saw a lot of is Leoy. I know we saw Fullerton play quite a few games last season, and Leoy getting free and fighting through two, looks up top, and had the opportunity there, I think, to take the first shot. If you're not going to take that first one, I think you got to move it if you're Olmeo. But possession shot, so no harm, no foul on that one. As Wheeler's going to bring the ball in, Joe Wheeler, and move it up top. 5:11 to go in the first half, still knotted at 2. Let's see what they want to do here. Is Martinez working on the pole, and we haven't seen them go on a pole yet, but see what they want to do here. Ballantyne has the shorty. Looks like this is the matchup they want to go with. And forcing him left. Ballantyne switches hands, rolls back. Nice look to Martinez. Martinez with the rip just off the mark, but another possession shot for Fullerton, who's really in control here at the end of the first quarter.
And Martinez is looking for those outside rips. I mean, he's looking to catch and shoot. So I think they have to be careful of that because he's able to shoot that ball. He's able to get it in and out of his stick very fast.
And you see when Almeo is coming around, especially at X, he's hanging his stick, asking him. There's a big rip from outside from Jeff Lyon. Just tempting the defenseman to try and throw that over the head check, and he threw it, and then he's just right by him. So you can't throw that check if you know that he's looking for it, unless you absolutely certain you're going to land it. Fullerton going right back into their offense, trying to get their hands free. Takes the shot, and Leoy, big time save from Kelly because he was right on the doorstep, and that's a huge save. And if he continues to play like this, then Occidental's really got a shot to win this game.
Absolutely, and Oxy, a great job picking up that ball and clearing it over to their attack.
Soloway brings it in and finds Kahane, or keeps it rather.
We got some predictions coming in here on YouTube. Brett Calvin saying 9-4, Cal State Fullerton.
It's a bold prediction. I mean, that's a bigger win than they had in their first game, and it's already more competitive than it was in that game. So I expect this one to be close until the end, and there's going to be a flag down. That one's going to be on Morgan. Looks like he caught his stick under the helmet of Kahane.
Cross check on
So
number 12.
it's
Morgan. It's a
unfortunate call. Looks like it's going to be a cross check.
Yeah, and let's see what the Occidental man-up unit can do here. I mean, this would be huge for them to take a lead going into this or at the end of this first quarter.
Absolutely. Just 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 2-2, a much different story than our first game. To 25 goals from Concordia, who put 7 and 8 in consecutive quarters. Really impressive offensively, but these ones taking a little bit more. And it looks like having a little trouble maintaining possession on that one. That's Cody Coretta, the captain, and the defensive player of the year. Also an offensive threat. He's got quite a few, and that's pretty good textbook defense right in that bottom hand. You might want to try and get a lift there.
He's got good ball control, carrying it back at X, and now he's still got it. I mean, he can handle pressure.
I mean, he does have 19 points on the season.
Wow.
15 goals, 4 assists. That's a Matt Walrath stat line.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Jeff Lyon, who really had himself a game last time these two met.
Yeah, and he's another one of those guys, real balanced player. He had 31 and 23 on the season coming into today. And nice spin outside, gets his left hand, draws the double, moves it up to Joe Wheeler. And Fullerton back on the offensive side of the ball. 2:18 to go in the first. That one's coming in tight, throwing some solid checks as Walsh, as Fullerton tries to get the matchup they're looking for. And again, Lyon working from up top has the pole, and it looks like they want to try and exploit this matchup. It's the first time they've dodged in this set against the pole. Looks to roll back, and I think he wants that skip pass inside. Pretty ambitious, nice handle by Wheeler. Gets his hands free, takes the shot, and that one bounces just over the top with Kelly in pretty good position. And then backed up by Leoy, but that was awful close as Leoy was walking away from it as it went through. Fortunate call for Fullerton to maintain possession on that shot.
Yeah, and Fullerton really, like you said, one of the first times we saw them dodge out of that set, but they're really looking to feed. They're looking for that backside. They're looking for cutters on the crease. And right here, you're going to see they're dodging with their heads up, always looking to move the ball.
And there's another shot just missing the side, but Kelly in good position. Possession shot again for Fullerton, who's doing a real good job of backing up all of their shots.
And the way Kelly's playing, I don't know if these outside rips are going to continue to go in.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's in good position. He's made a couple really good saves in tight as well. So definitely a good start for the defense.
Now, and a dangerous clear there from Taryn Mawini. I think he had the opportunity there to run it up the field, but Kahane still great on the ground ball, able to handle it.
And that's good man ball with Soloway, able to get in there. And Soloway didn't handle it, but was able to box Ray out. And Ray's a big kid, so I mean, you really got to put some effort into that. Takes the shot, and that one no problem for Wada as he eats that one up and puts it right back on the fast break. But uncharacteristic throwaway, as the ball goes right back to Occidental with 37 seconds to go. I think they'd love to score a goal here and take some momentum going into the second.
And a good idea there from Coach Luna to call a timeout. Looks like he's a little confused himself about it. But a good opportunity here for Occidental to talk something out. And I think, like you said, it'd be huge if they can go up at the end of this first quarter.
Yeah, I think this will be the first time they've ended a quarter with a lead against Fullerton in quite some time. I know we talked about their recent matchups with Fullerton, including this season, but it's been 5 consecutive matchups where they've lost. The last time they beat Cal State Fullerton was in 2007.
2007, and it was a very convincing win, actually, 24-3.
Yeah,
against Cal State Fullerton. So, yeah, it's been some time, but you know, a couple of close ones. The last 2 that they've had against them, very close. 9-13 was the last one recently this season, and then in the last year's postseason, 16-13. So 2 good games, but right now a tie ball game. And you know, what do you think Coach Luna is drawing up here?
You know, I mean, I have to think that he's going to go to either Kahane or Brad Calder probably, or maybe look to get him off of a feed, because they need to try and make something happen from X, maybe come off a pick and look across the crease.
And we got another prediction here in favor of Occidental from G. Levy, 2012 prediction, 15-13 Oxy.
You know, that one, with the way things are going now, feels a little better, and not necessarily in the outcome, but definitely in the score. Because I mean, I think this is going to go right down to the tail end, and I think that especially Occidental has got to do as well as they possibly can in keeping their possessions and letting their defense get as much of a rest as they can. Because you can see on the sideline, there's only 6 guys over there, and they need to conserve as much energy as they possibly can, being a smaller team than Fullerton.
And they're going to put a long pull on Mawini. I think that's a very good idea there. And Jake Kahane, you can see him. He wants to go against Paul Morgan.
And nice look inside. Great handle and a shot, and even better save by Wada to stop that one from going in, because that's a really good play. 13 seconds to go. They might be able to get up here and get something going. 10 seconds to go. And here comes Silverberg bringing it up. They're going to have to get a shot off pretty quickly as Almijo has it. 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2. Takes the shot, and Kelly is all over it, and he's in the crease. And that's going to do it for the first quarter, but that was a pretty exciting end to that quarter, and we're all knotted at deuces going into the second half, or second quarter.
Man, it sounded like a little Booker Corrigan action out of you there, but yeah, absolutely, a 2-2 ball game. I don't know if Cal State Fullerton was expecting this, but we definitely, or at least I definitely was. I think we've seen Occidental do a great job at the end of this season and this season in general. So a great game so far. Make sure to stay tuned for second quarter action right here on the Lacrosse Network.
and just about ready to get back to the action here in the second quarter. Tied at 2, Fullerton and Occidental playing a very competitive game so far, and both looking very comfortable on the offensive end. So at this point, it's really anyone's game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think we're going to see a little bit more out of the midfield line from Occidental. I think they're going to want to use Mawini and Doug Calder a little bit more. I think they're going to move to that invert set quite a bit. They were successful out of that once in the first quarter, but I think that's really where their matchups are. The long poles for Fullerton are tough to dodge against. Ray, Morgan, Coretta. I mean, these guys
very
are
athletic.
These guys are very athletic players.
I mean, you see that especially, and there's Ballantyne gets the GB going down on the offensive end, opts not to try and get it into the break, going back into their settled offense. A real heads-up play by Ballantyne, the senior. Joe Wheeler working on the pole, gets it to Goebel. And Goebel on a pole as well. See who the matchup is for here, and see if they're going to be able to get it to work, as Martinez has the shorty and moves the ball up to Wheeler and over to Ballantyne. 14:20 to go. Ballantyne by his man, looking to shoot, takes the shot, and that one just off the mark, but a solid effort, and another possession shot for Fullerton.
And right there, you see, you know, you talked about Martinez drawing the shorty, but at the same time, he's drawing Taryn Mawini, who's one of the more athletic players on the field today.
Yeah, and definitely isn't one of those guys who's going to shy away from contact, being a football player in the fall. And I mean, I think the matchup they're going to want to try and get here is with Ballantyne. And there's a nice look inside, a huge save by Kelly. That one right into his stick, but in great position. If you're shooting from there. If you're Gabel, you got to change the plane, especially with as well as Kelly's playing. The ball's still down. When it's going to be offsides. It's pretty. There's a lot of feet moving around over there. He's obviously closer to it than we are, but either way, Fullerton with the ball and going back into their offense as Wheeler has it for the Titans.
On that last look there from Fullerton, you know, Occidental slid, and there was no two slide, which left a wide open man in the crease, and Kelly was able to come up with a huge save. But they need to work on that slide and recovery. Yeah,
because I mean, you figure if you've got a shooter coming inside on the crease like that, you know, 60, 70, 80, maybe more % of the time, they're going to bury that shot, no matter how well your goalie's playing. As Wheeler comes inside and buries that off stick hip on the bounce shot, and that's a great finish from Wheeler. Real solid individual effort to put the Titans back up 1.
Absolutely. Wheeler just pushing in, using his big body down the left alley there, and able to just get by the Oxy defense and pop that one in. If he's just like what you were just saying, if he's that close to the cage, it's a high percentage chance of him putting it in the back of the net. So what you have to do if you're Occidental is stop him from getting that close to the cage.
Absolutely.
Once he starts his dodge, if he beats one man, you got to have a slide coming.
And another face-off win for Fullerton, and Oxy's going to have to do something to get the ball back on the offensive side of the field, because Fullerton has definitely controlled the possession of the game so far, as Wheeler has it working from GLE. Back up to Martinez and up to Clater. Interesting to see what kind of defense that Occidental might try and go into if they continue to have trouble getting the ball away, and that's a good save, good positioning for Kelly.
A nice little hitch move there from Martinez, coming down the right alley, spinning back and getting his hands free for a shot. And looks like the refs are going to fix the cage there, and looks like Oxy's going to come up with the ball there.
I think Leo stepped out. Is what happened at the end there, and then they're just wanting to fix the cage as an option. And a nice ground ball after a missing the catch is Vigoretta, as he moves the ball down to Calder and back to Kahane into Soloway, and they're in a pretty good little groove here once they get the ball down on offense. I mean, the trouble has been getting the ball down on the offense with all of and that one off the back of Coretta and you know
he's feeling it. Yeah, you can see that.
He's going to think twice about stepping in front of that one again, because that feels terrible. There's Kahane with a nice switch, loses Paul Morgan. Nice cut across, and the quick stick goal and the flag. What a play from Occidental to knot it up with 3 goals apiece at 11:37 to go in the first half.
Absolutely, and that's why Jake Kahane is one of our players to watch. I mean, Paul Morgan is not an easy guy to beat.
No.
And Jake Kahane right there does a great job using the back of the cage, beats him, and finds Soloway on the backside. Great look, great play, and that's just fundamental lacrosse.
Well, yeah, and the quick stick is not an easy play either. I mean, it's just a good fundamental. That's exactly how you draw it up if you're Coach Luna.
Again, Coach Luna winning the SLC Division II Coach of the Year award, and you see these Oxy Tigers, they came to play.
Absolutely, and I think when you talked about it a little earlier, is these Fullerton guys coming out a little sluggish, you know, knowing that they came out and beat up on these guys pretty bad in the first half. So I mean, they're definitely gonna have. There's Cody Coretta with a great handle and buries the shot, and that's 16 goals on the season for Defensive Player of the Year, Cody Coretta.
And you see why he scores that much right there. I mean, a great handle from Cody Coretta. It's not usual that you have an LSM that puts in that many goals, but you have guys in the SLC like Matt Walrath, Hap Knowles, and Cody Coretta who can play both ways. Doesn't matter how long their stick is.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just the fact that he scores that many goals. It's the kind of goals he scores. I mean, that's the kind of goal you'd expect to see, you know, Seguin or Fagan or somebody score in D2 with kind of a low handle on not a great pass, and then to bring the ball up and then change the plane. I mean, that's a high lacrosse IQ play. So it's a really good goal to put the Titans back on top by 1, and we see Occidental back in the offensive set. Trying to get something going. Here's Patrick. You can hear them nice skip pass. There's the shot, and that one off the pipe. Good effort. Wada, I don't think, was ready for that one after the skip pass and the quick shot coming from Calder.
Yeah, here I think Calder has a nice matchup, and I think, you know, he is a good dodger. I think he might want to take some from X. But, you know, Kahane not really having too big of an issue with Paul Morgan back there. Yeah,
and again, you said that you were surprised about it too, and I certainly am as well. Paul Morgan, and that's got to be a flag. If it's not a slash, it's in the helmet, and he thinks he's going to get the hold there, and he is sorely mistaken. Because that's you see the head go back when you catch one in the chin, and that's a pretty good way to get hurt. And it's going to be another look at the man up unit for Occidental. Did not capitalize on their last opportunity. Solid defense from Fullerton in their man down unit. Got some experienced athletic players out there for the Titans. And you have to think they're going to want to try and set up that shot for Soloway. Coming over.
Nice little wheel play here from Occidental. A little bit late on that wheel is Taryn Mawini,
but a pretty good effort on the shot there.
Jack Coyne, unfortunately. Oh wow, what a play!
And another quick stick goal by Soloway. That's 2 in a row for him, and he's been cutting and really giving the Fullerton defense fits. And ties the game back up at 4. And this one is continuing to be a real competitive game between these two Division II teams.
Absolutely. What a goal there from Soloway. I mean, Brad Calder pulling it in from X and just finds the cutting Soloway. I mean, that's just a great play. Assisted goals, just like we saw in the last game, but assisted goals are going to be huge throughout this tournament.
Yeah, and you see from the teams that are playing today, there's no cheap goals in this game. Both of these teams are playing very well and are playing fundamental lacrosse and scoring goals just like how their coaches would like to see them score those goals off the assist.
And what I was just saying before the goal was Jack Coyne chiming in and saying to you, Chris, tell me I haven't missed a cookies call.
Oh, you have. We were baking earlier,
yeah.
and you missed it.
You missed it.
Ted got a kick out of that one.
Yeah, you can hear Ted on the camera giving us some chuckles out of that one. But Jack Coyne missed the cookies call in the Concordia game. Some pretty serious de-sticking action in that game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm surprised that stick didn't fly away. Well, the helicopter action on that one. Back to Wheeler, looking for Fullerton. And Martinez has the shorty, working again out of that 1-4 set. And that one almost picked off, looking for Leoy, but able to bring it in. 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, as Martinez cuts back across, and he's gonna step in the crease, and you know, that's just Martinez straying away from the contact there. So that's good play out of the Occidental defense, and right back on the clear is Vigorita. Thinks about taking the shot, gets to his left hand, and what a finish, giving from Doug Calder. You talked about him earlier, but that's a huge goal, his 25th on the season, to give Oxy the lead, the first lead since 1-0. And just like that, 3 quick goals from Occidental, and puts them in the lead.
Wow, what a play by Doug Calder. Just cuts back to his left hand and just blasts that one. And I think Fullerton is seems a little shell-shocked to me here.
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely didn't expect this Occidental team to show up today. Still, I mean, like I said, I mean, this game is far from over, and this is looking a lot more like Grand Canyon versus Santa Barbara than Concordia versus San Diego. He gets it back down into Kahane. And I'm starting to get fired up. I can feel the juices flowing. These both of these teams, both on their sidelines and in the stands here, are getting fired up and watching their teams get some good lacrosse going on this field.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the good thing to see about Occidental is, or both of these teams, is that the scoring has been spread out. No one player has really taken control of the game. But you know, Soloway with 2 goals, but otherwise, it's really been spread out amongst the scoring.
Yeah, and then a little bit of an errant pass from Patrick, getting harassed. So it's solid defense from Fullerton, able to disrupt that pass. Wada brings it up and gets it into Ballantyne. And Ballantyne does a good job of coming to the ball, and that's fundamental lacrosse, looking for Morgan, who can't get it, but is chasing down the ground ball and does a good job to keep that one alive. And you see Wheeler wants the call there, got one in the side of the helmet. You could hear it from here, but the official didn't see it, or at least didn't call it. And back up to Goebel, who's going to be working from up top, has the shorty going against Oxy, and you have to think if they swing it around again, they might want to go back up to Goebel to see if he can make the most of that matchup. It looks like they're shutting Lyon off, at least on the adjacent. And you know, you're going to see some pretty interesting defensive looks, I think, from Coach Luna, a defensive player himself from the University of Arizona, actually a player that I played against, and definitely has some wrinkles that he likes to put in with some unusual defensive matchups. Ballantyne by, nice check, and ball still down, and still down, big scrum. It looks like everyone going after it, and that's what you like to see. Finally picked up by Burrows for Occidental. Takes one in the back and draws the flag. Ball still up. Surprised they didn't get the play on there.
I'm surprised that wasn't a play on there. Great catch by Jake Kahane. Let's see if we can listen in to what the call is.
Official Juarez on the mic here. Now it looks like the call's been made. I think to see what's going to happen is the flag was down. And it's going to be a push with possession technical, 30 seconds going against Fullerton. So we're going to get another look at the man-up unit for Occidental.
And Occidental was very successful when they pushed it from X. And I think because Fullerton is playing a little bit overloaded up top here on the midfielders, I think if they push it from X, they're going to be successful again.
Definitely, and you know, they had a pretty good look in that wheel that they ran in the last time they were man up. It was just a little late, but still a pretty good shot coming in from a Winnie. And here's Doug Calder looking across, finds Regatta, who takes the shot, and that one again off one of the defensive players. This time Goebel, and that's 2 or 3 times it's been right into it. And nice pickup coming across from Calder, and tries the BTB from Kahane, and off the mark, but a possession shot for Occidental with 6:03 to go in the first half.
Got to give a shout out to Garrett T, who's watching from Miami And he skipped indoor soccer just to watch this game.
Oh man, I love indoor soccer. So I mean, that actually says a lot to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Garrett, for tuning in.
And back to Mawhinney, who looks like he wants to try and expose the short stick matchup that they've got here again in that kind of 1-4 tilt. Really trying to get the ISO here. When he gets inside, trying to roll back, a solid defense coming from Goebel, and it falls over the goal, gets inside, and then a huge save from Wada as he gets a one-on-one, and that's a big-time hit from Kahane. I don't think Goebel was expecting that one.
How are they going to call that?
That is pretty soft.
That was a great hit from Kahane. Just drops his shoulder in there. I mean, that's got to be a clean hit. This is playoff action. We're playing college ball here. That has to be a clean hit.
I couldn't agree more with you there. I mean, and we've seen, for the most part, some pretty good hits yesterday and earlier this afternoon, and a lot of clean hits. So I mean, that's something that is a product of good coaching. You see guys who go in hard and play physical lacrosse, but without putting other players in danger by making a bad play. And that looked like one of those plays where you're hitting shoulder to shoulder. You're not getting in on anyone's head, and it's a clean play.
A little bit of sloppy play on the clears here, but Occidental able to get it over to Soloway in the attack and settle it down.
And that's a good call from the sideline and from the rest of the players to let Calder know that somebody was coming. Thinks about taking the shot there as Patrick, and I wouldn't have hated that look. As Kahane working on Ray, looking across, and nice pick off by Coretta. But it seems like the Fullerton defenders are having more trouble with the Oxy offensive players than I know I was expecting, and I'm certain that they were expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. Kahane, I mean, he's doing a great job beating his guys. And I think if they pull everybody up top a little bit more and give a little bit more space in the crease, if Kahane starts dodging and they get some cutters in the crease, it's going to be game over.
Yeah, and that's a real heads-up timeout call coming from the Fullerton sideline. He just barely gets the ball back in the possession. A real scrum, some sloppy play coming on both sides of the ball on the clears, and need some time for his team to clear their heads and get back into the offensive that they were playing earlier in the game, where they had a lot of success.
Absolutely, and we'll take this opportunity to let you guys know to visit tlnshop.com. You guys can check out the TLN shop, and after the tournament, you guys can buy the game DVDs there, courtesy of TVX Video. So make sure to check out tlnshop.com after the tournament if you want a DVD copy of any of the games. So as the half is winding down, what do you think Fullerton has to do to take control of this ball game?
I mean, I think they just have to continue playing their game. They've had a lot of success creating opportunities and getting shots in their offense, and if they just continue to play their offense well, and I think the big difference for them has been the clearing game. They've been pretty sloppy in the clearing game, and that's been giving Occidental additional opportunities to score. I mean, Kelly's not going to continue to play at the level he's playing at if they continue to shoot like they've been shooting.
Absolutely, and a couple things to mention right now. If you want to check out a Major League Lacrosse game, you can go over to youtube.com/MLL and watch the Machine taking on the Outlaws. One of your old teammates, Connor Martin, playing on the Ohio Machine. So that's exciting to see.
Yeah, and also be sure to go into the MLL's TuneIn radio network and check out the preview of the game, radio show that I hosted that dropped yesterday alongside Chris Day from Major League Lacrosse, and we'll be profiling that very game. So definitely check that out. Pretty excited about that. My first radio show for Major League Lacrosse.
Absolutely. And when's the next one?
It's going to be this week. There's going to be 2 shows. Inside the Machine and Running with the Outlaws, profiling those 2 teams on the TuneIn network for Major League Lacrosse, and you'll be able to watch or listen to those online, as well as on the TuneIn app in the App Store. So definitely check that out.
So if you haven't already, download the TuneIn app, and you can check out Chris talking about the MLL.
And one of the players we profiled earlier in the game is Gabe Omeo, who's a really talented player, but has been pretty quiet so far today. And I think that's going to be a key for Fullerton to get him more involved in the offense later on in the game, because he definitely has the ability to blow this game wide open. And fortunate not to get a slash there. Didn't get any of the stick coming from Patrick. As Wheeler going to be able to run this ball down, but solid short stick defense coming from Winning.
So far, I've been very impressed with the short stick defense coming out of Occidental. I think that's been a major factor of them having a 1-goal lead right now.
I mean, you can't overstate, and that's a Ward. Interesting call. Looked like he was just trying to get his hand loose there. Obviously, he's got a better angle than I do, but calling it pretty tight early in the game. The officials here, and then nice fake across, trying to get his hands free is Walsh. Walsh has got to move it and gets to Patrick, and that's a real heads-up play. Solid defense from Leoy, really harassing Walsh on that play. And with 2:42 to go in the half, it's still a one goal lead for Occidental after a flurry of goals. Both teams seem to have calmed down to get into their regular settled offense and try and get some rhythm going. And it's Soloway getting his hands free, draws the double, flips it over. I think a little bit of a lift in there, but stays in bounds. And Kahane, great play. Juarez, the official, ducks out of the way of that one, and that's a pretty athletic play for an official.
And as Soloway was dodging up that left pipe, he saw Calder on the backside. It was a good look, but just not able to get the ball over there.
Yeah, and it's solid defense from Fullerton. I mean, you're not going to get any easy looks at all. Getting their sticks in there, they're very athletic poles, and getting the lift there to disrupt the passing lane. And Patrick with it. Back to Mawini working on the pole again. Draws the quick double to be able to roll out. And Patrick needs to move that ball faster to Calder. And nice look inside, and what a save by Wada. Huge save. That would have been the largest lead of the game for Occidental, for either team for that matter, at 2 goals. And really keeping them in the game right now is Wada. And here comes Morgan, and there's no way Soloway is going to be able to run him down from across the field. Morgan's got a world of speed. And again, you know, Morgan's one of those hustle guys that the team can really feed off. And settling back into their offense, 1:15 seconds to go. Looks like Fullerton might be holding the ball, trying to get one of the last shots here, see if they can tie this game up going into the half. Talk it over and come out and show off some firepower. Wheeler with the ball. Looking inside, gets free off the pick. Doesn't get as much on that shot as I think he would have liked. And there's a great look on a rope to Calder. Working on Ray, and even better coming out of the box. That's a real heads-up play coming out of the box by Fullerton from Cody Coretta. And that's a veteran move. And coming inside, already has 1 goal on the game. Tries to make it 2. And it looks like he's going to have stepped in the crease. 40 seconds to go. And that's the thing. You can't let him have those shots because he'll score them. You know, he's not like the usual poles that you're going to be seeing coming up and down the field with the ball. He's got handles just as good as most of the midfielders they've probably played against this season.
And Oxy doing a great job. They've been clearing their attackmen quite a bit. I think Fullerton and their adjustment in the second half, I can imagine that they're going to want to pressure those attackmen a little bit more on the clears. Yeah,
and then Coach Luna wants to talk it over with 19 seconds to go, see if they can capitalize on some of the momentum they have in this second quarter, winning the quarter 3-2 so far, but they'd love to get another goal in here to go into the second half up 2.
Yeah, in a tight game like this, every goal counts, and especially these big momentum goals right before the half to start the third quarter. Whoever comes out scoring, I mean, those are key moments in this game.
Yeah, and it's something to at least mention that they won the second half of their last game 8-5. So Fullerton's definitely going to have to come out and expect this Occidental team to play well in the second half, and they're going to have to beat them in the second half to win this game.
Absolutely. So just to take a look at some of our YouTube comments here, Maryland Rail Fanner says, shout out, watching from Maryland, scored 3 goals today while playing with my select lacrosse team.
There you go.
Great job.
Nicely
hat
done.
Trick.
Yeah.
Chris would have tossed his hat.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not sunny, I got to protect my head.
And let's see, G Levy 2012 says, I think Oxy has more unutilized weapons, especially in their middies. Doug Calder, Vigorita, Mark Patrick have been pretty silent. If these guys get going, I don't think Fullerton's middies can match.
That's a pretty bold prediction. And the thing about it is, both teams have some guys that haven't been. I mean, especially on the Fullerton side, that haven't been playing as well as we'd expect them to play. And I think that they're pretty evenly matched across the board. But Fullerton taking advantage of the of the way they're playing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Jeff Lyons with 0 goals
Yeah.
so far. Nick Leoy with 0 goals. Alamio with 0 points, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think on both sides of the ball, if these guys start to turn it on, then I hope to see both sides turn it on. It's going to be an interesting game.
Mawhinney gets his hands free, takes a shot, and what a goal. And that's a huge goal. Only 5 seconds gone, and that pushes the lead to 2, the largest of the game for either team, and just doing it all himself.
Yeah, Mawhinney, the sophomore from Fort Collins, Colorado, he's just such a good athlete. As we talked about before, a football player at Occidental, just kind of barrels his way through and takes a great shot, sidearm, puts it right past Wada to give Oxy their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, and that's a real big goal for Occidental. I mean, and what they need to do now is just make sure that they don't give up a goal in the last 12 seconds here, because it's definitely a place where they could make something happen when you've got guys like Coretta and Martinez on the face-off team. 6 seconds to go. Look inside, can't quite get the ball down, and that's good help defense. Might have been a hold there, but you're not going to get it with 2 seconds to go in the half. And that's going to do it 6-4 in favor of Occidental, and definitely a more exciting game than the first meeting. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was huge at the end of that quarter, as we talked about, was if Oxy was able to come out of that timeout with 19 seconds left and score a goal, it would be huge for momentum going into the second half. And that's exactly what they were able to do. Not only did they come out and score, but it only took them 7 seconds to put it in the back of the net.
Absolutely, and that's a big play, and that's just a mental breakdown on the Fullerton defensive end, because you have to know that they have a guy there who's going to try and score a goal, and there's only 17 seconds. You got to leave the poles out there and really funnel him into your slide. So it's kind of bewildering, I guess, that they didn't do better with that. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the goal that he scored, because it's a great goal. It's a good finish, but I mean, I think you have to ask more of your defense, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to be talking about at halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we get into halftime here, let's talk a little bit about the first half and what worked for Occidental.
I mean, I think Occidental is just getting the matchups they're looking for, and they're finding the cutters on the crease. It looks like they're running a little bit of a kind of a pick package through the middle. And they're both running that kind of 1-4. So if they get those two guys in the middle and they're picking each other, then they're finding that offensive player on the crease who's been able to bury those goals. And in this case, it's been Soloway with his 2 quick stick goals. So I mean, I think you have to do something. I don't know if it's switch into the zone or do a better job of passing off from the Fullerton side to try and neutralize those cuts.
Yeah, I think I had the opportunity to be at the Fullerton Occidental game during the regular season. And I think what happens a lot of times when teams meet in the regular season and then in the postseason is that the team that wins in the regular season doesn't feel that they need to make any adjustments in the postseason. And the team that loses adjusts to the team that they lost to. So
exactly.
What I'm seeing is that Occidental made the right adjustments here and have the players with the skill level to execute on those adjustments. So appreciate you guys tuning in for that first half. Great first half of action. Occidental Tigers up 6-4 on the Cal State Fullerton Titans, and we'll be back after the half.
Welcome back to the action here in the SLC semifinal, the second of the day, live here on the Lacrosse Network. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by Samir Chaudhry, and we're coming back to a game that's 6-4 in favor of Occidental over the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, in a matchup that I think some of the Fullerton fans who we talked to at halftime weren't expecting to go this way. So definitely, I think that Fullerton's probably going to get a talking to from their coach. Playing against a team that they were up 8-1 on in the first half of their first meeting.
Absolutely, and with only 30 more minutes in this ball game, it's going to be. I think it's really going to come down to the wire here. Both teams playing well, and we're going to see on which side. We talked about this before the half, where the midfielders are going to step up. Is it going to be on the Fullerton side? Is it going to be on the Oxy side, or are they both going to step up? So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and I think it's important for Oxy to do the best they can at controlling the ball at the face-off X, because I know all of the shots that Fullerton has taken this tonight have been possession shots. So they're not running out. They're doing a good job of backing it up. So they have to rely on turnovers and unforced errors, and they need to do as well as they can to try and get the ball that way. As Ballantyne's coming across. Nice help defense, moves it to Miho and back up. And there's a great shot from Lyon, who's been quiet. We mentioned this at the end of the half, but gets a big rip off 47 seconds into the third quarter. And Lyon again. It almost felt like he wasn't on the field. We just hadn't been calling his number. I know he's been pulled and has Walsh, and they've been going primarily to the matchups with the shorties. Big kid who I think could make a difference, even dodging against the long pole. And there's Wheeler looking to get out, and Kelly's got to be careful because they don't have the 5 seconds. And whoa, that was a very close call. You can hear the fans; they didn't like it, and I'm not gonna argue with them.
Let's see if they can clear this ball. And wide open Vigorita in the middle of the field, just not able to reel it in.
And then Martinez able to pull it back and flip it right over to Silverberg. And Silverberg, looking to tear a page out of Cody Coretta's book, loses the handle. You think he had two players back there, and nice look up to Soloway. But had a couple players in there, and nice look inside to Kahane, and buries the shot. No question about it. Fakes low, buries it high, and the lead is 3.
Wow, what a goal by Jay Kahane on that. We talked about that before the half as well, that the Fullerton defense is playing a little soft on these Oxy attackmen during the clears. And it seems like time and time again, John Soloway is coming up close to the 50 and being able to catch that ball uncontested. And then right there, he moved it down to Jay Kahane, who was able to get underneath his defender and score that ball.
And I think he just got past him with a little bit burst of unexpected speed there. And because, you have to think that you're expecting a guy like Soloway, who's had success already with two goals before that last one, and for him to get free like that and just be able to run by his man, you wouldn't think that's something that would be happening, especially coming out of the half.
Yeah, and Kahane, we've seen it in this game. He's a shifty kid, and he's got some serious speed, and I think look to him to be dodging and initiating throughout this game.
And looking to go back into their set offense. Clater moves it down to Wheeler and over to Almio. And down to Lyon and back up to Clater, who can't handle the ball. Finally does end up picking it up, but not after taking a few shots from Patrick. And again, 12:26 to go in the third. Almio looking to make some moves. Been pretty quiet. I think that's has to be a testament on the defense for Almio trying to sneak through, trying to do a little too much there. I think, Fights gets into a double. That's a nice double, and I think you might have to throw that one up if you're Walsh. Got to do a little better. I think Kelly needs to call for that one if you're Occidental.
Yeah, and Walsh, the freshman out of Massachusetts, actually.
And there's the big rip, low angle shot, but Almijo wants to get something going. And trying to do too much right now. I think he just needs to settle in and play his game, and that's how he scored the goals he scored this season, and not try and force anything. There's Lyons going to get his hands free. Takes one in the helmet. Another fortunate no call for Occidental. That one was you can hear it again from the fans, not happy about it, right on top of the helmet. And here's Lyon coming through, trying to use his big body on Walsh. Cuts inside, loses his footing, and then the ball Solid defense from Walsh.
Walsh is a big body to go against, even though he's just a freshman. I mean, he's a big kid.
Yeah, I've been definitely impressed with his play thus far. Looking to get his hands free. Can't quite get the shot off. There is Carver, but rolls it right back out. And then that's a good look. They had a thing there, and then there's Ray trying to get the ball three, and then Kahane able to get it off of the play, and he's got a man in Calder way down on the other side. Off to move it to Mwini, and then back into Soloway. Soloway takes the shot, and that one just off the mark. And the BTP by Calder can't quite get it, and that's definitely actually the right thing to do there to improve his angle. And that one looked like it hit the inside pipe, and it should be four goal lead right now for Occidental, who's looking really sharp on the offensive end, and Fullerton just can't seem to get their offense going.
Brad Calder with a little bit of swagger right there, but you said it yourself. That was the right move. I mean, he's losing his angle, and if he extended his arms a little bit more, that would have been in the back of the cage.
And there's a shot by Wheeler. That one picked up by Emilio. Looking back inside, there's the shot and a huge save. That's a shaft save by Kelly, and that's as good as a save as you're going to see.
And you see he's pumped up. He's a leader on this team, one of the few seniors on this team. And you know he wants to win an SLC championship.
And there's Martinez taking the shot from outside. And Fullerton just has to continue to shoot here. I mean, it's just it's mathematics. If you keep shooting, you will start scoring. And there you have it. Martinez buries the shot. Perfect placement. Bottom left corner, and beats Kelly for the first goal of the second half for the Titans, and cuts the lead down to 2 with just under 10 minutes to go.
Absolutely. And Fullerton can score, and they can score in bunches right there. A great take from Martinez. Just unbelievable placement. I mean, that's a tough place for Kelly to get down to, and he was able to hide his stick and put that down in the bottom corner.
Yeah, and then just an update from the RMLC Division I Championship, 9-6. CSU beating CU in the championship with just over a minute to go. So that one looks to be just about wrapped up for the Rams, who will come into the tournament reigning national champions and undefeated, and will undoubtedly get the #1 seed into South Carolina.
And what does that mean for Colorado there now with 2 losses, but both to the #1 seed?
You know, and there's a big shot and a goal. That one coming from Lyon. And just like that, the lead is won with 2 goals in just a matter of 20 seconds for the Titans. And Occidental cannot get complacent. They could have been up 4, and they missed the shot. And then after 2 quick goals from the Titans, the lead is down to just 1.
Absolutely. Occidental now, they have to remain calm, though, in this situation. If they get the ball on offense, just keep doing what they've been doing. Don't rush to shoot, because if you start giving the ball back to Fullerton right now when they're feeling it, they're going to make you pay.
Yeah, and then back to your question about CU. You know, I think that because Chapman lost, and here's Martinez back into the fast break and throws that one away, but Almio runs it down. And Fullerton's going to go back on offense. But I think if Chapman had won the nice check, had won the SLC tournament, then they would have gotten the #2 seed. But I think now, since it's either going to be ASU or Santa Barbara, that they will still get that 2 seed into the tournament. CU will. And nice handle by Leoy. And looks like Martinez getting a little flashy there with his stick, drops the ball, but no problem picking this back up. Under 9 minutes to go now in the third. Finds Wheeler.
Quick update from the WCLL tournament. Stanford beating Cal 10-9 in the second Division I semifinal today, which means Stanford will be taking on Sonoma State tomorrow in the championship game.
And there's the shot from Leoy just off the mark. And that's a result that might be bad news for Grand Canyon. Because I think those are the 2 teams that are vying for that last at-large bid. You know, with Stanford going to the final. There's the shot, and that one just off the mark, but a really good opportunity from Almijo. But Cal and Grand Canyon are right next to each other in the polls, 12 and 13, and both coming off 1-goal losses. It just depends on who the voters think should go, the 3rd team from the WCLL or the 4th team from the SLC. But I sincerely hope that the voters watched the game last night, because Grand Canyon is a very talented and very exciting team, and I absolutely think they deserve to go. Here's Leoy trying to get his hands free, takes the shot, and that one just off the mark. But Cotton sent back in, I think getting a little too antsy on that possession, but able to keep it is Thielen for the Titans, who has a goal himself on the day already.
And Fullerton right now looking very comfortable on offense. It looked like those 2 goals really helped them relax into this, and as Thielman beats his man inside, they're pretty comfortable right now. They're shooting quite a bit, and it's just a numbers game at this point.
Yeah, and 7:40 to go in the third, and you see Calder really getting in there and playing pretty aggressively way outside the box, and I don't think that's something that you need to do as Patrick here is playing defense on line. Gets his hands free, takes the shot. A lot of bodies in there. You can see that one right off the arm of Evan Tolley, 99 for Occidental, and he's hurting. Let's see what they're going to go to now as Martinez has the ball, able to chase that one down. 7 minutes to go, and it seems like it's been a long time since Occidental has had the ball on their offensive side of the field. Valentine coming around the right side, able to get that ball back, finds Martinez. Martinez takes the rip, and Kelly able to get it into his stick after another big save. And Patrick, you think he's got to take some of that space.
Yeah, he's got to run. That's where you got to use your wheels.
And that's going to be offsides on Ray, who stepped over, and that's a real heads-up play by Soloway, able to stop there. And it didn't look like he was going to be able to when he was running up to it like that. And Ray, just a little bit bigger body, not able to stop his momentum quite as well.
Important for Fullerton here, and if they can, important for them to possess the ball. And Paul Morgan picks that up for Fullerton right there. If they can get this back, it's very important for them to have a long possession here and take some quality shots.
And that's a great play. You don't need to get a whole lot on it. Flip it to Lyon. Cody Coretta with a really heads-up play. And there's the look inside for Ballantyne. Ballantyne takes a shot and ties the game up. That's 3 straight goals for Cal State Fullerton, and the game is tied.
A tie ball game right there, and that just comes from an unforced error from Occidental. A little bit of inexperience to playing in the playoffs here, but what they need to do is just get that ball back and relax. Even though it's a tie ball game now, Fullerton has put a couple back in. What they need to do is relax, and it looks like that's probably why they're taking a quick timeout here. But not to discredit Fullerton and what their offense has been able to do in this third quarter. I think they definitely turned it on.
Yeah, no, and I think that Occidental wasn't prepared for it, and they need to show like a little more composure. And Fullerton's been here before, and they're coming out and playing in the second half like they wanted to in the first half. So it's just a matter of both teams kind of getting back into their rhythm here.
So that WCLL championship game going to be an exciting one between Stanford and Sonoma State. They met before, with Sonoma State taking it pretty convincingly.
Yeah, I know Stanford was one of those teams that at the beginning of the season appeared to be a legitimate threat for the top overall seed, winning some big games early against Santa Barbara, and some other players have fallen back a little bit towards the end of the season with some tough losses, but definitely a team you're going to be seeing in South Carolina, both of those teams, Sonoma State and Stanford. Yeah,
and on the Division II side of that RMLC, Westminster taking down Fort Lewis 23-3.
Yeah, well, I mean they're the champs.
Yeah, Westminster is a fantastic D2 team. I think they're going to be making the move to D1 fairly soon here.
I mean, I certainly hope so. With I mean, they've just been so dominant at Division II level. I mean, they've had a couple national championships, and I'd like to see them make the move up, do what Grand Canyon and Davidson have done, and been able to find some success. I know the one team who made the move after a lot of success at Division II level, University of San Diego, really has not been able to find themselves at the Division I level. And ball down, and it looks like Fullerton trying to get in there, and Mahaney just can't quite come up with it, and then Patrick misses the handle and picked up by Fullerton. Got the double working here, and nice one-handed flip pass into Martinez as Patrick's coming in looking for the double, and Ray coming into the offensive side. And
he's not afraid to shoot. Yeah, he'll shoot the ball.
I mean, I think he's leading the team in flow right now as well. Definitely the tournament, I think, as well. And that's a nice look. Up and finally gets it to Kahane. Kahane
back to Mawini, and Mawini's got a line looking inside to Soloway. Soloway, and a huge save by Wada. That is the biggest save of the game so far for him, because that's a goal that Soloway has been putting away all day. And now Coretta bringing the ball up. Already has one goal and another shot. A little ambitious on that pass, trying to get inside. Nice help defense. And that's a good check, and the ball right
Great
back.
ride there from Fullerton. Honestly,
Fullerton.
The ride is so important in games like this because of momentum. And Fullerton, great job getting the ball back on a ride.
And right back into their offense. There's Lyon working from up top, 7-7. 4:40 to go in the third quarter. And let's see what matchup they're going to want to try and go at. I mean, I think Goebel has a shorty here. Might be one of the matchups they want to try and get. Looks like they're going to the switch here. And Goebel still with the ball. 4:20 to go in the third quarter. Lyon switches back to Goebel. Goebel with the shorty. Doesn't want to get too far out there. And let him get a real running start at him. Here's Joe Wheeler coming inside. Nice play, and I don't like the call on that flag, honestly. And the ball is still down. Still get the play on. And this is a big opportunity for Cal State Fullerton to get in front of Occidental for the first time since early in the second quarter.
And I'm not sure how much possession time Occidental has had this quarter, but it's really not much.
Not much.
I mean, the Cal State Fullerton offense has really had the ball for the majority of this quarter.
And there's the shot by line. No problem for Kelly, who has been really playing well. And they're going to see the man-up unit for Cal State Fullerton. And again, it's going to be a push with possession, technical 30-second penalty going against Occidental. So just 30 seconds. So they're going to have to get something going pretty quickly here to get a real shot off to take advantage of this extra man opportunity.
Yeah, if Fullerton can take the lead again, or take the lead right here in the third, going into the fourth quarter, that's huge.
Here, just 3:23 to go in the third quarter. Game definitely moving faster in this quarter than it did in the first half, with all of the action really starting to pick up. Nice skip across. Here's Martinez from outside with the bounce shot, and that one just off the mark. Possession shot, about 10 seconds left on the penalty. Still moving the ball well, just about back to full strength as Almijo has it. And all by himself as Wheeler takes the shot and just misses. He had a great opportunity, a lot of awareness there for Wheeler to come up. And you think if he'd got up in there a little faster, that he would have had a one-on-one from basically right in front of the goal. So a little bit of miscommunication on defense by Occidental, and Fullerton unable to capitalize. And back to full strength as Ballantyne by his man. Looks to take the shot, and again, just off the mark.
Ballantyne, no problem there on that dodge. He keeps dodging like that, he's going to get a lot of opportunities. But looked like TJ Kelly was in position to save that one.
Well, and they're just they're trying to push him to his left, and he's just running right by them with his right. And that's the thing. If you give him too much the other direction, a nice look back to Loy. Loy able to pick it up. Hear the footsteps coming, but no problem for him. 2:22 to go in the third. Looking for that cut across as Lyon has it, and Almijo looking for that one, can't quite come up with it. And if you're the coach, you're going to want to tell.
Oh, yeah.
You got to put two hands on that one.
Vinny Vigorita, I mean that is not good right there from a fundamental perspective. I mean, an opportunity in a playoff game to pick up the ball when it's tied in the third quarter, and he goes one-handed.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's unacceptable.
You got to use your body better than that. You got to get in front, get two hands down, get the butt end down, get that ball, and give your offense a chance to go out there and take the lead going into the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what Fullerton's doing here.
If Fullerton scores here, I mean, I don't know about that call either, but
it's definitely high, and
it was high. They're going to call that.
I think if he moved his hands down a little quicker,
because he caught him in the head, and then he kept riding, and I think that's the problem with that. I mean, obviously no malicious intent, but anything around the head, they're going to be tossing flags out there. And Martinez takes the shot, and that one off the pipe. That's a fantastic effort, and Walsh picks up the ground ball, and they're going to be man up for a minute now. Fullerton is, with a minute and 23 to go. The game's still tied, and Occidental fortunate to still have a tie game after some of the mental mistakes they've been making here in this third quarter. And again, still, please send us your tweets, comments, questions. Go ahead and comment on the feed and/or send me a tweet at CMarshallTLN. I'd love to hear from you. And a final just came through at the RMLC championship, and CSU takes the victory 9-6. So they locked up that #1 seed, and they will be going to South Carolina with the AQ. Looking inside, and there's Martinez, takes the shot, and just plain misses. That's a really good shot. That's exactly how you draw it up.
That's going Oxy's way.
And that's the first shot, second actually, that has gone back to Occidental after a shot. Fullerton has been doing an incredible job taking possession shots, and that's a real good play. And a nice play gets into Soloway, and that's huge for Occidental. And they've got about 30 seconds to kill on this penalty. And this is a big deal for Occidental. They definitely don't want to give Fullerton an opportunity at the end of this quarter to try and take some momentum into the fourth, as Soloway has it and moves the ball back up. And you know, it's 30 seconds to go. They're still man down for 10 more seconds. And a look inside, can't quite come up with it. And there's good man ball. Two hands on that one, and that's what you like to see. And if you're going to make mistakes, that's fine. Just make sure you're learning from them, you know, from a coaching perspective. And Soloway fortunate to get that ball back, as Ray is all over him. And 8 seconds to go, we saw them score in a opportunity like this at the end of the half.
Great defensive play there from Fullerton, but Mawhinney's still able to pick it up. Not happy with his play there at the end of that quarter.
And I mean, yeah. And this is as billed. You know, I mean, these two teams are really playing well right now. I mean, you have to give the edge to Cal State Fullerton at this point with the way that they closed out that quarter, but it certainly isn't over.
Absolutely, and just to get to some of these comments that we have coming in, Garrett T says, this game is worth missing soccer. Such a good game going.
Great.
It's a fantastic game going on. I'm glad you're able to catch this one. It's going to be interesting to see how this fourth quarter plays out. A question here from Rostin Musni. How did Oxy do against Fullerton last season? They lost 13-16 against them in the SLC quarterfinals. And, you know, last year, Fullerton was a different team, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cole brothers and the way that they played last year, I think that's very impressive that Occidental was able to keep it that close in the playoffs. All right,
and score 13 goals, because, I mean, yep. I know that Fullerton beat Grand Canyon last year, who was a very talented team who went on to win the league championship and is now very competitive at the Division I level. It's definitely a different team, but a very, very, very talented and well-coached team. And just a shout out to Jackson Davis, who's tuning in, tunes in and watches our games on the big screen. So that's always exciting to see the lacrosse action from Lacrosse Network on the big screen.
Yeah, definitely a big thank you to everybody who's tuning in and watching this great game here. 7-7 going into the fourth quarter. The team that wins this game will have to face Concordia tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the D2 championship game here for the Southwestern Lacrosse Conference.
Well, yeah, and that's nothing you want to look forward to, even, I guess. I mean, you want to get through there, but the way that Concordia is playing now, they're going to be very tough to beat. And here's Jake from State Farm tuning in, seriously digging the blue unis for Fullerton. You know, I do too. They look great, especially now. You got a beautiful sunset, and the jerseys are really looking sharp out there. And there's a face-off win, but a ground ball picked up. Comes Carroll, able to flip it off, and really a big ground ball for Fullerton to start the fourth quarter.
And Fullerton really controlling the ball at the face-off X, and that can kill your offense. If you're Occidental, it can also kill your defense. You know, they don't have too many midfielders that that they can play down there. So these guys are going to get tired.
Here's Wheeler with the ball, running on the pole, playing pretty solid defense. Looking across crease, and what a play by Kelly, able to anticipate that pass and move the ball up. And pretty impressive clear for Occidental. You know, definitely made that one look easier than the past few. I mean, Fullerton has been doing a really good job on the ride, and a high-pressure ride. So to be able to get that one out here, here's Kahane trying to cut through, get his hands free, doesn't. That's good help defense. Able to move the ball back up to Calder. And, you know, since the beginning of the game, his brother has been pretty quiet, Brad Calder, after scoring a really great goal. And that one, a really good effort on that shot just off the mark. It looked like Wada might have had it covered, but had that near post corner picked out. And Kahane cutting back and using the finalizer in there, looking inside, takes the shot, and another big save by Wada. It's a great handle even to get any sort of shot off at all from Stern, but Wada all over it, and Ray making a mistake that you don't usually see him make, and then Soloway not able to handle the ball. Eyes got too big before he finished that one, because that is a sure thing. And then with the play, Soloway walking across the field. And that's just a mental mistake on his side. And you know Coach Luna is not going to be happy about that.
Absolutely. I mean, what a couple of golden opportunities there for Occidental. First, the look from Kahane to Stern, and then from Kahane to Soloway there. He would have had a one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Occidental has got to capitalize on those, and instead, now going man down, they need a big stop.
And those are the kind of mental mistakes that you absolutely cannot make against a team like Fullerton late in the game like this. And you can't afford to be making any mistakes in the playoffs. And it's solid work. And there's buries the goal. Almijo, welcome to the game, sir. And that's a big-time goal from him.
Absolutely, the senior captain finally getting his first goal of the playoffs here, and you know, putting it in basically the best spot he could, off stick hit. That's one of the hardest shots, if not the hardest shot to save if you're Kelly, and he was wide open there. So when he's from there, the senior captain, he's going to put it in.
And 12:51 to go, Occidental down a goal, capitalizing on that extra man opportunity after the offsides coming out from Soloway. And you can hear Luna from the sideline, Coach Luna, saying we need this, and they answer the call. And it looks like Soloway has kind of lost his way here a little bit, as he's getting beat up a little bit by Ray, and throwing the ball away.
Yeah, those unforced errors, you know, between that, walking over the midline, I mean, those kind of things, he's got to clean that up here in the fourth. Being one of the leaders on this offensive unit, they need possession and they need him to be there.
And again, Soloway, you know, I mean, we talk about him, you know, as a leader, and offensively he is because he's such a good player, but just a sophomore. So definitely some things to see for the future. You'll expect to see him improve, you know, in all aspects of his game, but especially keep that toughness going. And so Coach Luna pulling him off and wants to talk it over with him, with Calder coming in to play attack. Doug Calder joining his brother Brad.
Yeah, I think Soloway just needs a second here to relax. A very talented player, and he really just has to relax into a nice save by Kelly, and they're going to need him to get back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's Soloway with winning with the serve, or with the swim. On the struggle here a little bit. Sorry about that.
Whatever.
Yeah. I was so excited, but it's a really good clear fight through two guys there, and then Haney is gonna get a moving pick.
Oh man.
I mean, that's a tough break. I mean, he's coming in there and trying to set something up, and then really getting his clock cleaned. And what a look from Paul Morgan, cross field on a rope. That one going to Carver. And that's a really good pass. With 11 minutes to go, still 1-goal game. in favor of Cal State Fullerton. You can hear the fans really starting to get fired up, trying to get their boys in this game to win and punch their ticket to the championship game. Line getting his hands free. Takes turns and shoots, and that one just off the mark again, but backed up by Wheeler.
Got to give a shout out here to KW Girl 955, who's excited to be watching Mark Patrick on the Occidental Tigers.
Me too.
Yep, we all are.
And back into their offensive set. There's Almijo looking to do something at the pole now that he's feeling it after scoring that first goal. Coming back across to Ballantyne, another huge save from Kelly. And the ball's down. Didn't see it after he made the save, and we saw one of those go in on Simon in the first game today. And heads up play opting to put that one back and getting it up to Patrick and moving it across the field. So you have to think they're going to want to try and get it to one of their shorties, and they do, and that's an impressive clear for Occidental.
Wow, Vigorita. I mean, dangerous on the sidelines there. He's got to pull it out here and relax. Occidental needs possession.
Yeah, and fortunate not to get a hold there is Coretta, who was all over that arm.
Soloway checking back into the game on the attack line. It's good to see him back in there.
Yeah, and you know they need to get some better play out of Calder on the attack. I mean, Doug Calder's been, and that's off the pipe, and that's a big shot coming from Calder out of dodging out of the midfield, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. They need these players, and they got to make the switch here, and Line makes them pay, pushing the lead to 2, and that's just an offensive switch or a defensive switch that they didn't make in the fast break, and it cost them because Line knows exactly what to do when he's up that close.
Yeah, absolutely. Line kind of uncontested there. You saw Doug Calder with a lot of speed coming back there and trying to chase him down, just not able to. But unfortunate turn of events. Doug Calder hits one off the pipe, a great take, but just not able to chase Jeff Lyon down on the other side.
Yeah, and still 9 minutes to go. Plenty of time for Oxy to score some goals here. They've had a couple of really good opportunities, haven't been able to capitalize. And a shout out from their sister Megan, who's watching in, and what a check! And right back into it as Carver has the ball going on to the fast break, and that's a nice check from Kahane, who's off. Oxy's got to be careful. Kahane now back on the defensive side to match feed, and they do, but they lose one of their midfielders on the attack side. Is Lewis trying to get in? Moves the ball up top, and now back into the offense as the Titans try to take a little bit of the time off the clock here with 8:43 to go in the game with a 2-goal lead. I mean, another goal here would be big for Cal State Fullerton. Nice look over the top to Almijo. Almijo wants to go at it here from up top, and able to get by his man, but not turn the corner.
And that's going to be a flag. Yeah, absolutely. We saw that. The refs are going to call that all day. And let's see if Fullerton can get a shot off here before the man up.
The ball's still down, and he's on top of the ball. I mean, you got to stop the play here, and finally picked up. But I think it's going to be a hold going against Occidental here. It was a 30-second technical, but another big opportunity for Fullerton to extend their lead. And even with as well as Occidental's been playing, a three-goal lead for a more experienced team late in the game is hard to overcome. It looks like Legoy's going to bring it in. 8 minutes, 9 seconds to go. Again, 30-second technical for the hold. Back up to Ballantyne. And Fullerton going to move. And the last time around, they had Almijo wide open on the backside. See if they can get this rotation working here. Again, they do a little bit better job as both players fall down.
Yes,
that was kind of like the OKC double flop that we saw orchestrated with Kevin Martin and Derek Fisher a couple days ago. But very, very strange. But looking pretty good. And there's Almijo again, and buries the shot, fakes low, gets Kelly moving, and then buries it up top, and it's 7:35. Another costly penalty going against the Occidental Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. And both times on that man up, for some reason, Gabe Alamillo is wide open down there on that right side. And Oxy's got to take a look at that and understand that he's the shooter in that situation. He's a senior captain. They're looking to skip the ball down to him. And you know, both times he's been able to catch, and he's had a lot of time to operate there. A lot of time to shoot, whether it's a time and room shot or it's him pushing in and faking low and going high.
And that's something that you need to talk about if you're Coach Luna. You know, just don't leave him with as well as a nice ground ball as Soloway has the ball coming inside, moves it inside, has Kahane, can't quite come up with it. It looks like that ball's going to go out of bounds. No, picked up and then out of bounds. I don't know what's going on there by Wada, confused by the lines, and doesn't get back into his cage. Soloway takes the shot and just plain misses, but a strange play there by Wada, who I think just didn't see the lines there, and another unforced error that causes a turnover for Occidental, and the wheels are just kind of falling off the bus for the Tigers right now.
Yeah, Oxy really, you know, we've been talking about it since the third quarter. They really need to relax. They need to understand there's a lot of time left in this game, and even 3 goals is not very much right now.
Yeah, no, I mean they scored 3 quick goals to end the in the second quarter, and going with the lead. So they need to play their game, not get desperate, and try and get some stops and avoid some costly penalties here on the defensive end. Thalen moving the ball, finds Martinez again. Martinez takes the rip, and that's another goal for Cal State Fullerton. Pushes the lead to 4, the largest of the game for either team, and things are really starting to come together for Fullerton.
Yeah, absolutely. Fullerton capitalizing on all of their opportunities right now, and Occidental just offensively having a very tough time maintaining possession, and that's what I see is happening right now. Is that Occidental, they're trying to do too much right there on that last possession. They tried to force one into Kahane. There's no need to do that. If you don't have it, pull it out, relax, swing it around a couple times, and find a good matchup.
And 6:35 to go. Again, 4-goal lead, and another face-off win. Winnie bringing it in, shows the fake, and then takes the shot, and that one off the side, and a great ground ball. Picked up and then unable to catch the pass is Soloway, and going after him, and then big hit, a big clean hit there, and a nice lift coming inside, and a big ground ball coming up, and that's huge for Fullerton, and a big timeout call, and that's a real heads-up timeout. I mean, this is textbook lacrosse right now for Cal State Fullerton, up by 4 with 6:06 to go in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, right there, like we just talked about. Cal State Fullerton, you know, they were able to pick up a ground ball on the left side of the field, and that's really the difference there about who has possession right now. Brad Calder able to pick up a very nice ground ball and try and move it to John Soloway, but just not able to corral it, not able to reel in a somewhat easy pass there.
Yeah.
So those are the differences right now in the game, and that's really what's been happening with Occidental, just maintaining possession down there. I think it is a little bit of semifinal jitters. You know, this is one of the first times in some time that they've been down here for the semis. So I think you know they came out on top really early, but Fullerton's been here before. They've been here many times. They played in the championship game last year. They've played in big time games, and they know how to relax into a game and understand that even if you're down, you can still come back.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case, and I think the experience and the depth is really coming into play right now for Fullerton. You see them come out; they've been here before, and they're playing really well, and they're being coached really well as well. You know, you see the timeout call after a long scrum for the ground ball, and give your team a chance to get settled into a place where you can potentially score another goal and get up 5 and really kind of start to put this game to bed.
You can see Taryn Mawini on that sideline sitting down, not very happy with his play in the second half here. And I think right here, if Oxy's able to put on a big stop, there's still a lot of time left in this game with 6 minutes and 6 seconds.
Here's Lyon. You're going to be working on the pole. Walsh over to Ballantyne, who's had a lot of success on the drive, especially against the shorty. You have to think they're going to want to try and get that matchup back for him, maybe up top, get a rotation going in this offense. Klein moves it down to Leoy. And back over to Wheeler. And back up to Lyon, who's going to be working from up top. Playing pretty tight in. And, you know, I mean, just from watching the rotations on defense and the way they're playing, the Oxy guys look tired. As Lyon trying to get his hands free. Pretty solid defense from Walsh, but this is one of those opportunities where you might see a
timer on.
Timer on call. There you have it.
Great call.
The 30 seconds is
free,
and just misses it. And since the shot was not on cage, the count continues to go. So another about 15 seconds here in this shot clock, as the Cal State Fullerton Titans are going to have to get a shot off here pretty quickly if they want to avoid the turnover. And Leoy brings it in. Nice look across. Lyon tries to get his hands free, doesn't get the shot off. He probably would have been better off taking that shot, and that one waves off the call. And another great save from Kelly. That's 2 in a row. And Almio gets another one going, and that one not off on the cage. But one of the first times I've seen someone actually break the shot clock and maintain possession. So nice save from Kelly, but pretty interesting way that played out. And back down to Wheeler, 4:30 to go, trying to get free and turn the corner. Nice look inside, takes the shot, and that one just off the mark, right over the top. Almio able to corral the ground ball. Trying to get in and turn around. Almost tripped there. Fortunate not to get a trip call as Almijo stays on his feet. Wheeler cutting through, and nice stop by Gabel, able to run that down and cut back in front of his man. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game. Fullerton looking very comfortable on the offensive end.
Another timer on call here. And nice save by Kelly.
And a good check coming in to take some of the heat off of that shot. And, you know, Wheeler definitely has more juice than that. And Walsh takes it across, able to get it to Soloway and over to Patrick. 3:46 to go in the game, and they've really got to get something going here pretty quickly. Brad Calder, I think, has got to do something here. His brother Doug was able to hit the pipe on an opportunity.
They're going with the invert here. This has worked for them before. I'd love to see what they do out of this, if they're looking to pass or just have Taryn Mooney dodge.
Moving the ball and 3:14 to go. And there's Kahane trying to get free, takes the shot, and that one's going to go over, and they're going to be able to get the ball back. When he looks inside, pretty ambitious pass on the crease, and that's just offsides. Another rookie mistake. That one from the sophomore Tolley, and those are things that you just can't have happen. Coming inside, nice look across. Almio with the quick stick in the goal, and just like that, 3 seconds later, it's 5 goals ahead for Cal State Fullerton.
Absolutely, and that comes from just a little bit of inexperience there on the Oxy side. Tully, he's a hockey player, converted hockey player who's now playing with a long pole and just goes over the line. Wanted to help out his team, but has got to know that in playoff ball, I mean, every little thing counts, and we've seen that in this game for sure. I mean, Oxy just unable to capitalize on a lot of their opportunities early on in the game, and it's paying. It's costing them now.
Yeah, and that one's got to be no. Oh, there's a flag down on a cross, and Mawini's just not liking that one either. Drops his stick, but got to keep the composure here. 2:38 to go. 5 goals down. Stranger things have happened. I know we saw Grand Canyon score 3 goals in 90 seconds to end the game last night to tie it up. 5 goals would definitely be a tall order, but I know Steve Luna is going to want these guys to come out there and give it all they got, regardless of what the score is.
And it looks like Taryn Mawini, you can see him on the sideline over there.
Broke his helmet.
Yes, he's coming in with a new helmet right now. See if Tad can get a shot of that. Yeah, right there. See Coach Luna strapping it up with a new helmet.
So, I mean, you knew he was going to get that call. I mean, you could hear that one from the parking lot, and probably broke one of those top buttons. I knew a couple guys, that I played with have had head issues with that. If you take a real good one to the head, and that's generally the spot that's going to be a real problem. And back into the start, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go when he has it up top. Back to Calder and Moyni, and Calder with going for the skip pass. Enola can't quite come up with it. Lanes some lumber. In over there is Morgan, and ball still down, and finally picked up by Fullerton. And the jump pass, and Goebel gets a pretty good one in the side, and then steps out of bounds. So ball back to Cal State Fullerton with 2 minutes 7 seconds to go, and Doug Calder going to bring the ball in. And again takes a look in the shot, and that one's just barely going to get backed up by Kahane.
Wow.
And you gotta make sure you know that you don't have that 5 seconds anymore, as Kahane's going to be able to take advantage of that quick whistle. But solid defense from Fullerton to keep him from turning that corner with 1:50 to go in the game. And ball's going to be out for Fullerton on the errant pass.
And I think Oxy just trying to do too much here at the end of the game. There's no need for that skip pass down there, down to X, to Kahane cutting across. Just keep working it around and find a good matchup.
Right. And that's kind of what they've gone away from. And there's Calder able to get the ball. He's a lot of blue shirts around there, but able to move the ball down to Soloway. Soloway gets the look inside, takes the shot, and Kahane off the inside pipe gets his own rebound and scores the goal. What a shot after a big shot, and then off the pipe, and then caught it himself and scores the goal. That's a great shot, and cuts the lead down to 4 with 1:26 to go in the game.
And this one, as it's winding down, a very similar score to the last time these two teams met.
Yeah.
9-13 last time they met, 8-12 now, and I think Oxy just kind of got a little bit gassed towards the end of this game.
Yeah. Well, and I think they had a couple tough breaks, and mentally they weren't ready to come back from those mistakes. I mean, you see some unforced errors, from offsides and a couple late penalties, and Fullerton was able to capitalize on those mistakes, and that's what really cost Occidental the game at the end here. And Walsh coming in, kicks it out, give his team an opportunity to get this ground ball. You have to think they go back to Kelly. 1:15 to go as Occidental maintains possession of the ball. Tolley gets the ball back, and is going to be able to bring the ball up, try and find a short stick here, and then gets the ball across. A nice heads-up little flip pass, and Soloway doesn't get the ground ball. Sorry, that's Patrick, and then Ray finally able to pick it up and get it inside to Leoy with 52 seconds to go, and got to just pull this to X, and that's a real heads-up play. Not trying to go to the goal. You know you're up 4 with about 45 seconds to go. You can just take the rest of the time off the clock here as they move it to back to Wheeler. And again, with the new rules, you do not have to keep it in the box. So I think Wheeler's going to be just about able to. That's a nice check. Catches the bottom half of the shaft there. But Wheeler able to maintain possession. Cuts inside, nice spin, draws the double, and able to move it. And nice look inside, takes the shot, and Kelly eats it up.
TJ Kelly has had a phenomenal game, and this is going to be his last game as a senior over at Oxy. And it's such a great game that he had, though.
Yeah.
He kept Oxy in this game. He made some unbelievable saves, and I think as this game winds down, he's got to know that he played a hell of a game in his last game at Oxy.
Yeah, and that one they gave them a shot there, and that one the shot takes it in the chest right at the end of that game, really selling out. That's Martinez, I think, giving up the body at the end, and that's a fantastic finish to a great, very competitive game with Cal State Fullerton going to the SLC championship.
So Cal State Fullerton going to take on Concordia in the SLC championship. That's a rivalry that's been brewing down here for quite some time.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was a matchup from a season ago where they met in the semifinals and won the game in overtime on a really great play. And there's no love lost between these two teams, and I think it's going to be a competitive game tomorrow.
Yeah, and when they met earlier this season, Concordia taking the victory 13-8 against the Cal State Fullerton Titans. So I think we're lining up for a pretty good game tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You guys can tune in, catch that one, and right after it at 1:30, we have the D1 final game between UCSB and ASU.
Yeah, and that's going to be another good game too. I mean, both those teams playing very well. Definitely peaking at the right time, winning big games yesterday. ASU over Chapman and SB over Grand Canyon. So I expect to see another fantastic day of lacrosse tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and just a reminder, you are watching the Lacrosse Network right now, the exclusive home for the SLC tournament. And final thoughts on the game, Chris?
Well, I mean, I think it was a good game, and I think that Occidental gave themselves every opportunity to win this ball game, and just couldn't get over the unforced errors and penalties late in the game. And that's what an experienced team does in Fullerton. They take advantage of the mistakes, and they use it to their advantage, and they win the game.
Well, we appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight, and make sure to stay tuned tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock for the D2 championship game between Cal State Fullerton and Concordia, and then at 1:30 for UCSB and ASU.
Yeah, and as always, a special thank you to Colin back in the lab, and Ted Bendrick from TVX Video upstairs in Vineyard Vines, as always, and Samir for joining me on the broadcast, and for all of you viewers at home. We wouldn't be able to do this without you, and thanks for tuning in and sending your comments and questions and everything our way, and we look forward to bringing you some more great lacrosse action tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned for the SLC Championship Games live on the Lacrosse Network. I'm Chris Marshall. Stay laxy.